So much bullish news right now in crypto, yet crypto just kind of moves sideways. Today we have two stories that are very, very interesting. Both happened yesterday, March 17th, that not many people are talking about. The first one has to do with an ETF proposal that might surprise you just a little bit, although nothing's really surprising these days in crypto. The second story is about Mark Ueda, the SEC acting chair, and his conversation with an investing industry conference yesterday as well. So before we get into that, remember, every single day in crypto is an adventure. So join me along for my journey. I put out videos every single day. So make sure to hit the subscribe button to get the news and facts and data as soon as I get them. With that, remember, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I do have links to everything I'm going to talk to down below, so feel free to check them out. Make sure you read terms of service, disclosures, all those things. And with that, let's get right into it, talking about the first item, which is Canary Capital proposes FIRST Sui ETF in the U.S. This SEC filing, the S1 filing, came yesterday, and it's really looking at the spot market of Sui to create an ETF. So I'm a big fan of Sui. It's a layer one that's very fast, very efficient, very effective, and it's supposedly a Solana killer. You know, Solana is still way bigger, but this is a very interesting development because, you know, right now there's a lot of these SEC filings for new ETFs, and Sui is no different. So Canary Capital, I think that's like their fifth or sixth, maybe their seventh filing for ETFs. And, you know, it's almost like this space is going to get crowded with ETFs soon, but there's still just a few compared to how many are out there and how many cryptos are out there. So it'll be very interesting to see which ones the SEC approves and doesn't approve. You know, the filing is one of the first steps in this, obviously. So it's going to be a little while before that gets approved. So the SEC filing comes after Sui said on March 6th that it partnered with World Liberty Financial. That's the platform backed by Donald Trump. So very interesting what World Liberty Financial gets involved with and what they don't. And people are looking at this because, you know, obviously President Trump is the president and he's looking at, you know, he's working with this World Liberty Financial. So very interesting to see developments there. So let's move on to the next piece. Let's look at how the price is affected. So price of Sui kind of looks like the Bitcoin chart, doesn't it? Except Sui is down from their highs. I think it's like 62%. It was up here at like 5.34. It came down here. So it came down 63%. It's about 62% down right now from its all-time highs. So you can see this as room to run up, but you can also see this as room to run down. And I put it in the same category as Bitcoin. It's pushing up against that ceiling of resistance right now. And it could take some bad news. It looks like we have ascending wedge, right? But it also looks like we have some downward, you know, if you look at this, you know, we're on a downward trajectory on price. So it could go either direction. Is it going to get good news and pump up, or get bad news and pump down? This week is Fed week, so be very, very careful and vigilant if you have trades on, because it would be speculative not knowing exactly what the Fed's going to say. Now, if you knew what the Fed's going to say, that'd probably be insider trading. But that being said, I don't know what the Fed's going to say. I'm assuming that they're going to make mention of some deteriorating significance in certain sectors of the economy, but I don't think they're going to lower the rates right now. They might announce a slowing of quantitative tightening, but yet to be seen. Now, next up, and this one's pretty big, and it has big implications across lots of different sectors, but you have SEC could axe proposed Biden-era crypto custody rules, says acting chief. So Mark Ueda yesterday spoke at a conference in San Diego with the investment industry, and so he's mentioning that this rule, it says the rule was floated under the Biden administration during Gary Gensler's tenure leading the regulator. It aimed to expand custody rules for investment advisors to any and all assets held for a client, including crypto, and up the requirements to protect them. So look, I understand that the SEC's job is to kind of protect the consumer, but you know, the rules had gone real far in the last couple of years. And so this rule under Gary Gensler's SEC was really meant to that, you know, that it was one kind of a barrier between these investment advisors and the client and their ability to custody or hold crypto. It also applies to banks, I believe. So the SEC is slowly dismantling all these rules that get in the way of people in their crypto. The crypto industry under Choke 2.0, Chokehold or Choke Point 2.0 was meant and designed to not allow individuals to hold and custody crypto. I think the government at the time saw it as a competition of currencies instead of an investment class. I think the government wanted more control over the people, and one way to control the people is through their money stream, and only having one currency that you can print ad nauseum and inflate like crazy and devalue everyone's money. That was the power that the government had over the people. And crypto was looked at as a competing force to that. And governments that administration wanted more power over the people. So I like the people to have the power and the people to have the power of choice. Now, this might, if they pull this proposed rule out altogether, it's just one more thing that's taken away, from the people, getting in between the people and the crypto. So I like that the Mark Ueda is taking away these rules one bit at a time, or changing or looking to change some of these proposed rules. And I think it's strong and bullish for crypto altogether. So really, this between things like the ETFs that are going on, like Sui based, it's a layer one blockchain that's very fast and efficient and effective. Having these ETFs allows the normal people that are scared to open wallets, scared to move crypto around because they hear all these horror stories. It allows the average individual to buy these things. Now, I don't know if they're allowed to be put in 401ks and things like that at the moment, but you have Mark Ueda talking to the investment industry saying, listen, we're going to remove the barriers between you and your clients. And right now, I know investment advisors, and they're saying they can't even talk about it unless they bring it up. So, once that door opens, you're going to have access to way more people that have money to invest that might put, 1 or 2% of crypto in their portfolio. But think about that on the mass scale. That's millions, billions, and possibly trillions of dollars coming towards crypto. So with that, more bullish news today. I know the market's sideways and this is not, a lot of fun for many, but there's still opportunities in every single market. If you're looking to do leverage trades, you can use BTCC. They have lots of sign-up bonuses right now for people that are looking to get into longs and shorts with leverage. Now, this is dangerous and risky, so make sure you do all your research, read the terms of service, read the disclosures and things like that before you get into that. There's also things like EasyBot that trades on an algorithm. It's software that interacts with your exchange to trade through an algorithm, the proprietary algorithm. They've been doing it for 3 years. I've been doing it for 2.5 years with them. It's worked very well for me. So check these things out. They're down below. With that, have a great day, and I'll talk to you again next time.